Gotta press his buttons. Oh, you've already done it. Okay. Calling this regular council meeting to order of the city of South Lebanon on May the 7th, 2026 at 6:00 p.m.
Allen,
Present.
Carmack,
Present.
Combs,
Present.
Feder,
Present.
Harrison,
Present.
Smith.
Present.
Could you please all rise for the prayer and the pledge? Dear Heavenly Father, as we come to you this evening to give thanks for this day and the blessings you have bestowed on South Lebanon, Lord, please forgive us for our shortcomings and let us work together to move our city forward for a better future for all of our citizens. Thank you for our law enforcement and their efforts to protect us and defend us daily. Let us remember our military that is in harm's way right now. Protect them, keep them safe. Even their daily training can be dangerous as they train for missions they have to be prepared for. For those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, we lift them up and their families to you in prayer. We pray you will give them peace that surpasses all earthly understanding. Lord, we ask you to give us and let the work we do guide us and let the work we do be acceptable in your sight. Protect our first responders, keep them safe as they go about their duties. Thank you for all of our staff, all of our public works staff, keep them safe as they go about what can be dangerous jobs and situations at times. We ask for your protection of the city of South Lebanon and all of its citizens. In your holy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance
United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and you can all be seated. We have no guests this evening, so I will open the floor to the public if there is anyone who wants to speak. We have no one signed in, but I'll still give you that opportunity if you'd like. So if not, I will close the floor to the public and we will begin our meeting. First thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes of prior meetings, regular meeting April 26th or April 16th, 2026, and special meeting April 23rd, 2026. I need a motion and a second to approve if there are no corrections or additions.
I have a couple corrections. For section 5 of the prior minutes being approved for April 2nd, where it says according to the audio of April 2nd, the meeting, Councilmember Allen made the motion. The section that I was stating that was written incorrectly was from 3:19, where it said Mayor Burke presented changes to the council rules regarding scheduling workshop meeting, where Councilman Smith produced that on 3/19/26, and that is recorded in section of the meeting minutes of 3:19, report section E. Councilman Smith requests that the rules be amended to specify workshops when necessary rather than mandating a monthly. In the meeting, you have it quoted. It was for Allen that voted, and I'm not arguing that, I'm just putting in there that I presented that change. For the second court, I have, for 416, Councilmember Smith, section D, this needs entered into the record as it was stated, not paraphrased. D, he also questioned capital budget plans for the Razor property on Zor Road, which the administrator Hacker reported. Hacker stated, I am not aware what is scheduled for that. I wasn't an employee of the city when the capital budget was set, and it is not a project that I have gotten into yet for 2026. Then Burke stated, in her recollection, it was deemed unsafe and too expensive to repair. She would have to look back at her notes and see why it was deemed that. I asked if she had a study done where Burke stated yes. And at that point, I asked if she could get me that information where she also stated yes. That's the only correction I have.
No. So Councilmember Smith, I'm a little confused. So the first minutes that you were referring to was 319, and I don't believe those were on the agenda last week's or 2 weeks ago to be approved. So are we talking about the April 16th minutes in that first section, or are we talking about minutes from 319? Which one is it that, I'm sorry.
So I am referring to back on 416 when we talked about it, about the 4-2 minutes.
Correct.
Where it stated, I have a screenshot for you if you'd like me to send it to you to make it a little easier. Where it was from 319 that we were voting on it on 4-2 of 26. The Amendment 8 Rules of Council. It was just entered as Mayor Burke put it, procedure. It needs to state that I put it out there. And like I said, I can email you the screenshots from the website that you have uploaded.
Question. Are you talking about when you amended the minutes to make sure that your name was on that statement? Is that what you're talking about? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Correct. That's, I was just saying that I asked for the change. That's all it was, that you voted for it. So that is correct.
Let me correct that. When I made that motion, I made the motion to approve as written, not as amended. That's why she said according to the audio.
So I was just going off of the council meeting prior to it on 319.
I don't
Where
have those in front of me.
it states, Councilman Smith requested that the rules be amended to specify workshops necessary rather than mandated monthly meeting. We put in there, Mayor Burke presented changes to the council rules regarding scheduling workshop meetings and the order of procedure of council meetings. So it is entailed that she requested it. All I'm just saying is, I requested it, you did vote for it, and that was the second.
If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and send it to me because I'm still a little confused on whether or not we're amending the 319 minutes or if we're amending the 416 minutes. Or, you know, or which is the 416 of the 4-2.
It was 4-2.
You're saying so the 4-2 minutes had it. Yeah, so you can send it to me and it'll be easier for me to see it in writing and kind of go back that way because I'm just so I can follow you. And then the second item that you're referring to is in the 416 minutes, your section and under communications, correct? Is that, and are you asking it to be summarized differently? Because we don't do them verbatim. So I just want to make sure that I
was just asking for it not to be paraphrased because leaving out half of that information is changing the subject. In my opinion.
We do just summarize them, and you can see they're already 8 pages long, which if you go to, well, almost 9 pages, 8 pages for this 416. These are longer minutes than any other entity out there. And then that is why we also do reference the audio so that people can kind of get the gist of what was being discussed and then follow up with the audio for more details. I really am reluctant to actually verbatim minutes because we could do that, but I think
The minutes are supposed to be a summary of meetings, not verbatim.
It can be a summary, yes.
It can be a
I'm
summary.
just asking for that to be entered because that by reading how you have it, you're missing out a big portion of the conversation. I'm not asking for the whole thing to be or not be paraphrased. I'm just asking for that section because there's a section missing from it.
if you would like to write it and send it to me, I can have it inserted.
Let me say this again because everyone's getting confused. Let me state it one more time. What it says in there, according to the audio recording of April the 2nd, okay? I made the motion to approve as written, not as amended. It was seconded and voted on. Therefore, that cannot be changed.
We're talking now about the 416, so we changed.
That's one I was looking at. This one here.
Yeah, it's this one here. So we're actually now talking about
Okay.
the
Mike's
page.
gotta go off.
Yeah, Linda, you can turn it off for a second, sorry.
So currently, we're talking about the 416 minutes on page 7 under Councilmember David Smith, the points A, B, C, and D, about those being paraphrased differently.
Okay. Okay. Send her, we can look at it. If you would send that out to us, Tina. If you could send that out to us once you get it, because maybe I'm confused on that.
I think the question here is whether or not we're going to be more verbatim or summarize minutes. And I get, there can be key points that are missed, so we can still try to look at summarizing it, but make sure that we've hit those key points. I just don't want to get into verbatim. So if you can just send that to me, what point you think we're missing, then we can revise those sections. So I guess I would say we should not approve the
We should
416
table.
table minutes. And then go ahead and look at the other minutes from the
Right.
special meeting.
423. Okay. We're gonna table I need a motion to table and a vote on this.
I'll make a motion to table
The April 16th
April
meeting.
16th meeting minute.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yeah.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Now, moving on to the special meeting minutes, a motion and a second to approve if there are no corrections or additions.
Lisa Fetter, I make a motion to approve.
David Smith, I'll second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Abstain.
Combs,
Yeah.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yeah.
Motion carries. Now moving on to new business, emergency resolution 2026-11, authorizing the mayor and the fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with Choice One Engineering for consulting services required for the 2026 street improvement program. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I need a motion and a second to waive the 2 reading rule.
Brenda Combs, motion made.
David Smith, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Motion carries. Now a motion and a second to adopt by title only emergency resolution 2026-11, authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with Choice One Engineering for consulting services required for the 2026 street improvements program.
Brenda Combs, motion made. Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Motion carries. Emergency Resolution 2026-12, authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to release the subdivision bond issued to MI Homes for the roadway construction in the Auburn Grove subdivision. Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none, I will need a motion and a second to waive the 2 reading rule.
David Smith, I'll make a motion to waive the 2-minute rule, emergency rule.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Now, a motion and a second to adopt by title only, emergency resolution 2026-12, authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to release the subdivision bond issued to MI Homes for the roadway construction in the Auburn Grove subdivision.
David Smith, I'll make the motion to the resolution 2026-12.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Feder,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Motion carries. A motion and a second is needed to accept the invoices.
Lisa Feder, I motion to accept the invoices.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Feder,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Motion carries. Now, a motion to accept our law director's invoices and a second is needed.
Mary Ann Harris, I make a motion to accept the law director's invoice.
Allen. Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Feder,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Motion carries. Now, a motion to accept March financial statements and a second is needed.
Brenda Combs, motion made.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Feder,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Smith.
Yay.
Motion carries. We have no old business, so moving on to communications. Starting with myself. First of all, I think you will notice a beautiful piece of, I think, art here. This is our new easel that the Warren County Career Center made for us for the memorial to do our wreath laying ceremonies. And it was made by, Mr. Arkhill is the instructor, and Elijah Setterlet and Mr. Levi Settle are the gentlemen that made this. And they only charged us what for the materials, that was it. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate Warren County Career Center. I reached out to them to see if they could do this for us, and they were very gracious, and it's gonna be, it's sturdy enough, so when we do the wreath laying ceremonies, it's not gonna blow away. And I just think it's an incredible piece of work, and I want to thank Warren County Career Center and those young gentlemen who are now employed. So they have graduated and moved on to paying jobs. And I think our skilled trades are very important to this country and the welfare of this country. So I'm just really impressed with what they were able to do for us. So moving on, let's see, the bridge will be closed on Main Street between Pike Street and Broadway Street. It will be closing on Wednesday, May the 13th, 2026, for 1 week, weather permitting. The closure will be between 25 and 60 Main Street. The closure is for the bridge preservation maintenance and will be completed by DDK Construction. The tour for the closure will utilize Broadway Street, High Street, and Pike Street. If you have any questions or concerns, just reach out to us and we will let you know. Zora Road was reopened today at 11:30 a.m. So the project is finished. There's a little cleanup that we're going to have to do on some areas, but it is now safe. It's not sliding down the hill anymore. It's all done. The River Dogs will be opening at the end of the month, and they have a 3-year lease with us, so it goes through 2027. The Memorial Day Parade and wreath laying, our wreath laying will be at 10 a.m. on May the 25th. And the Memorial Day Parade will line up as at 11 a.m. on May the 25th, 2026. I'm not sure about any candy distribution. I haven't heard that from Chief Napier yet, but I will be checking back with him because I'm sure we'll have a meeting on it before it takes place. That's all I have. We've been having tons of meetings and this week and lots going on. And of course, we had the election outside and Tuesday was a little crazy down here. It was terrible, terrible weather. It was like November. It was cold. But I think our area had one of the larger turnouts. So thank everybody for coming out and voting. So we will move on now to our Director of Finance, Tina Williams.
Thank you, Mayor Burke. This past week, we received notice from the Center for Local Government and our insurance broker that the renewal rates for the next plan year, which begins August 1st, came in at 0%. So I think this is the first time that we've had that in a very long time. As you guys are aware, last year we made the move to go to the high deductible health insurance plan along with HSA contributions. Even though the plan is a 0% increase, I probably will be requesting a meeting with the Personnel Committee just to go over and review our current plan and answer any questions that may have. And then it'll come before council for their approval. Open enrollment will probably begin sometime in June or probably early July, late June. So this will probably be on the next agenda. Like I said, we just got that notice and I'm going to get a meeting together quickly with the Personnel Committee so we can then get this before council for their approval. Last week we had our auditors in here, so they were here Monday through Wednesday. So far, so good. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done off-site, but they do come down here on-site to look at a lot of the records in person. It's much easier than trying to scan everything in and send it to them. So they come in and hit us hard roll for 3 days and then off they go. And everything else from there is just communicated through emails. But I will keep you guys updated on that. Tax season, we had a very successful tax season. I know that seems like a little bit of a go, but it really wasn't. The end of the month, they did a lot of work after April 15th. It doesn't just all end on April 15th. So I'd like to thank Melina Warner and Sam Fogel, our tax administrator, for all their hard work and getting everything that entered and posted through the end of April. So all the mail's been opened, all the checks and things have been cashed and everything's been posted. And from here, they have a whole lot of auditing to do, but it's good to see everything got completed there by the end of the month. So thank you for their hard work. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Tina. We have an absolutely outstanding fiscal director and tax department, and I just want to say thank you for all your hard work. Our city administrator had a prior commitment this evening, so he does not have a report to file tonight. Or if he did, he didn't do it with me. Okay. And our law director is also out. So if you have any questions or concerns, you are always welcome to reach out to him. Sergeant Adams, you have nothing to report. Okay. Councilmember Smith.
Thank you. Hope everyone had a great couple weeks off since we haven't really seen each other besides the special meeting. For our last regular meeting, from our last conversation, I asked about the Razor property, trying to be transparent with the community. As earlier as I stated, our administrator stated, I'm not aware of what was scheduled for that and wasn't an employee of the city when the capital budget was set. And that is not a project that I've gotten to yet for 2026. Mayor Burke stated that, to her recollection, it was deemed unsafe and too expensive to repair. She would look back at her notes and see why it was deemed that way. I asked if there had been a study done where it was stated yes. At that point, I asked if I could get that study, and that was also stated yes. I still haven't received it.
I can't find it. I apologize.
I would say, who deemed this unsafe and too expensive? Where is that report? What engineering company deemed this to be unsafe and too expensive? And how is that being transparent to the community if we can't get it? From Thursday at 7 PM to Friday AM, 7 AM, we went from not knowing anything to pulling guys off of projects around town to start destroying the public property I asked about. How do we go from not knowing and haven't gotten anything for this list for 2026 to destroying it? When I asked about this project, it was what funds were going towards. This was to be transparent to the community and discuss what the best action to do with this building. I'd still like to know who ordered the public property to be destroyed. What was the chain of command for this action? What ordinance or resolution was passed by council to demo city property? When was the demo permit filed and issued by the county? Why wasn't there a silk fence placed around this site to keep mud, soil, and other items from washing into streams, streets, and sewer systems? Why isn't there a construction fence placed around the site to keep general public out? Was OOPS called to survey the land for utilities? Was there a lead test done since this building was constructed during the time lead was heavily used? The city employees were put in harm's way by not doing your due diligence, and I am not aware of any of the city employees that are trained in major demolition work like this. That is a reckless disregard of safety to our city employees. I asked for this info back in February. What ordinance or resolution did council pass that you're trying to override the city charter? The city charter is very clear. Council has control of all property of the city. You must get our approval for anything to be done with it. The city council has final say of all property. And now that we have an attractive nuisance with just tape around it, with no fence or blocking from the public, what is going to be the cost to clean this up? When is it going to be cleaned up? You went out 24 hours to start destroying public property, and it's sat there for 2 weeks now with nothing being removed. How have we had an estimate to have this cleaned up before you started destroying it?
Now,
I'm still speaking. If you give me a second, you can be more than happy to answer. My last statement about this issue, that you destroyed last set of buildings left from Fred's mushroom plant. We could have done some minor repairs to the block and put a roof on it and used it for storage until we had funds for a true public works garage. Now we are going to have to waste even more money to have this issue caused. Council members, do you think this is acceptable conduct to do this without our oversight from the city council? And in my opinion, I believe whoever authorized this demolition of public property without council's approval is liable for this.
The
And
council approved the raising of this building when they approved the budget in 2026. And it has been in the budget since 2022.
So you're stating that the approval was the capital budget.
Absolutely, and the
So,
council approved it.
If that was the case, why would we have to vote on anything else to actually bring the funds out to do the action?
Because if we
Because
spend
that's not
over,
how it was stated.
I'm speaking,
I'm still asking the question, so
and
now I
I'm
would
trying
love
to answer it. We did not spend any money raising the building. If we would have spent over $25,000, then we would have had to come back to you to take down the structure, but we did not. There was no money spent. $48,000 was saved for this city. The building was unsafe. And Jeff Bolin, we will find that report and you will get it. But we've had other things on our plate all week, for the last 2 weeks. So when we get that report, we'll get it to you. But this council approved the raising of that building 4 different times in 4 different budgets.
Okay, I would still like to see the ordinance of that, if you don't mind. then to
Can you get
your-
the
to
ordinance
your-
for the budget?
To your point, that the $48,000 was saved, so that means, did we get an estimate to have that demoed?
We did it in-house.
I understand that, but to get the $48,000 budget that was in the capital expense budget, did we get someone to?
I'm sure at some
estimate it?
point we did.
So at that point, if it's over the 25,000 we had allocated for that 48,000, wouldn't it be required that it had got to public bid because we actually already had it in there? No?
No,
Okay.
5,000.
Under 25,000, yes, but we had it in our capital budget expenditures that we would up to 48,000 for that project. So that means it could be up to open bidding, since we had it in the capital budget to spend it.
And the thing is, we save 48,000, when the budget committee meets again, we're going to discuss what it takes to haul that off, and that will be subtracted from that 48,000. That money that's left, which will be a considerable amount, can be actually put on the street fund, or maybe the recreation fund, or somewhere that is desperately needed. Since we saved 48,000.
can I say this? Bids have already been placed for the removal of this, the rubble. It was going to come down one way or another, whether we took it down or it fell down. It was already an attractive nuisance. Children were playing in that area, and it would cost more to rehab that building than to build new.
Yeah, I like that.
Those were our decisions.
Like I said, I just want to see the report that you stated that you have, that it would.
It's
would
in the
have.
file
And then
somewhere.
also, did we have a study on how much it would actually cost to fix it?
Absolutely.
Sure, Jerry did.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
I asked Jerry this question because that was my thought.
Because I've had multiple constructions.
He said absolutely no.
You guys,
Yeah, I had asked Jerry that, oh my God, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Can't remember exactly. But he said it was absolutely not doable.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Moving on, Councilman Federer.
Just want to thank the Public Works guys for all they took the opportunity of Zora Road closed and cut back about 20 years of growth from the side of that road, you get the visibility on Zora is a lot better now. So they
Use their time for it.
And that was the reason the building came down, the structure actually wasn't a building. It came down at that time because Zora Road was closed and it was the safest time to bring it down. And being able to do it in-house saved us quite a bit of money, and our works crew did a great job. So we're gonna move on from that, and Councilman Carmen.
I have no fun to report.
Good.
Usually don't. We had our first ad hoc meeting on the small animal policy. It went very well, I thought. And I'm looking forward to getting something together to present to council to possibly do an ordinance on it. And
Yeah.
that, just for anybody watching, that's poultry also.
Thank you. Councilmember Harrison.
I'm all for, I think it's our responsibility as council, as a body, and, safety is first. So, and, I think that's what we all look at, if it's a building or a road or whatever, but the safety comes first. And of course, I want to thank our first responders, and that's always out there and working super hard. It seems like it's unbelievable all the calls that you guys go on, and you still have a smile on your face. That's all I have to add.
Thank you. Councilmember Allen.
Yes. So just one more comment on Zora Road. And if anybody wants the minutes, they're out there. I know for at least 5 years, I've been on council going on 13. I've asked for that to be torn down for parking space for the bike trail. I've asked and asked and asked. We have people taking their kids from Rogers Park on bicycles, crossing the river to get over to the bike trail. Why wouldn't that not even be looked at, right? I mean, and I have asked for at least 5 or 6 years because these children are little kids trying to get across the river to get to the bike trail. What better spot right there to at least look some kind of temporary position for these people to park with their children?
Linda, I know you've done some research and I wanted to ask you about that. That the building, or I'm sorry, the structure had sat there for 31 years
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah, actually, I know people that used to work there, and I know that sounds funny. I worked at the mushroom plant myself for many years. Most of us did here in town. So that building was been unsafe for a long time, and the reason why, it is an old mushroom plant, but the reason why they quit using that one is because my a family member worked there, and a brick had fell from the top floor and hit him in the head. It almost killed him. He suffered all the years with it. They shut that building down long before they shut the mushroom plant out.
Wasn't it a poultry factory at one time?
The poultry factory was there centuries ago. The poultry factory actually moved out on Mason Mara Mill Grove Road. They used to call it the chicken house. And I'm still kind of looking at that because there's a lot of history there. But they shut that building down long before they shut the mushroom plant down. Oh, and the next thing is, I did want to ask, Sharon, thank you so much for that report. We all want to hear about it, but I'm wondering, could we do that in like a workshop meeting so we could kind of discuss it more freely, if that's possible? And that's all I have. Yeah.
Thank you, Linda. Councilmember, Combs.
Thank you. Wasn't your father the one that built that?
Years
Razor,
ago.
Razor building.
So, and thank you for the first responders and thank you for our city workers. That's it.
Is that it? Okay, thank you. Now moving on, I need a motion for adjournment. A second,
Motion made, Brenda Combs.
Lisa Fetter, second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none? Meeting adjourned.